What's good with the YouTube? Big Flacco smashing, dashing, sliding on through, but as always, with a little bit of energy. Let's crack it, people. So today we got an interesting topic we're going to be discussing. As we've done in previous episodes, we've discussed, gun smuggling, firearm transactions in the communities, and how much attention that brings from law enforcement. Man, they do not play around when it comes to that. Man, whenever you have a surge in murders in the community, a lot of gun violence, they're going to always try to put their attention onto where these guns are coming into the community. Therefore, it's a win-win, man, public relations and all that, man. And this is a prime example of a current case, man, to where law enforcement targeted gun smuggling in Southern California.
No doubt, man. This is from the FBI through NBC. Authorities from Los Angeles and Orange County announced gang-related arrests and federal charges. Law enforcement officials from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, along with local authorities from Los Angeles and Orange counties, announced several gang-related arrests and federal weapons charges in those counties. A news conference was held outside the FBI resident agency building in Orange at 10:30 a.m. Wednesday. Representatives from the Los Angeles County and Orange County Violent Crime and Gang Task Forces spoke about a recent investigation that led to the arrest. In one case, 16 people associated with the Brownwood Street Gang, which mostly operates in Anaheim, were charged on Wednesday morning. The charges include multiple felons in possession of ammunition, possession of a firearm, and furtherance of a drug trafficking crime. Possession of unregistered firearms and a destructive device. Possession of firearms not identified by serial number. Transporting unregistered firearms and a destructive device in interstate commerce. Now you see, what we always try to preach about this is those crimes are pretty bad, you know what I mean, in themselves. But they're going to get the street gang stuff too. 10 of these people were arrested according to the FBI. Let's see, from Jonathan Castaneda, Cassandra Camacho, and Cristobal Flores were three that got away in that little incident. Anaheim police first began investigating the case in July of 2019 when the gang was engaged in illegal firearm sales and distribution in Orange County, the FBI said.
Legal, huh?
Oh yeah, you got to have a FFA license to sell any gun. So any gun that me or you sell or any gang member sells, it's illegal. It's an illegal firearm sale. Dude, they could charge you. You know what they do, Flacco? They charge you, man. They're gonna hit you with possession of a. This is what happened. I got caught with a chopper one time. There was nothing illegal about it except the characteristics, because it had a flash suppressor, it had a magazine that dropped down for center, and it had a bending, folding, collapsible stock. So mine was banned by characteristics alone. It was only 10 rounds, semi-automatic. But anyway, they're gonna hit you with possession of a banned assault weapon. If it's a ghost gun, possession of an unregistered firearm, or possession of a non-serial numbered, non-identifiable firearm. They're going to hit you with ex-felon in possession of firearm. They're going to hit you with ex-felon in possession of ammunition. They're going to hit you with all them same little charges they just did. Unregistered firearms, possession of firearms not identifiable by a serial number. They're going to hit you with all those. They're going to, and then it's 20 years. What they did's a tactic, bro. We know they're going to try to scare you with, all them together, 5 years, 7 years, 7 years, 10 years, 8 years. Then they're going to talk about throwing on a gang enhancement, another 10 years. Then they're going to talk about strikes, another 20 years. So, you go in there and you're looking at 72 years all of a sudden because you sold some guns. It's a tactic. But anyway, we'll talk about that after we finish the story. Anaheim police first began investigating the cases. They were fucking selling illegal firearms in Orange County. All right. Individuals in the gang would travel from Texas to California to trade guns for narcotics, the FBI said, while others would illegally sell those guns and narcotics in Southern California. A confidential source bought narcotics and firearms from several of the individuals charged, several times between July of 19 and August of 20. Over the course of 25 separate operations, the confidential source purchased approximately 759 grams of meth and 23 firearms. Other items seized by authorities like the FBI and the Drug Enforcement Administration include 6 rifles and pistols, rifle scopes, AR-15 upper receivers, suppressors, and 1 pipe bomb, the FBI said. Another source
Who went
allowed
blame?
oh, come on, another source allowed authorities to seize drugs, cash, and a Sig Sauer handgun. Well, Wednesday's operation led to the seizure of 7 more weapons. In another separate case, 7 people involved with the Pico Nuevo 13 street gang were charged. The gang traffics narcotics and weapons, according to the FBI. 2 of those individuals were arrested Wednesday. 3 were already in custody, and 2 more are fugitives, the FBI says. Their charges include felon in possession of firearm, felon in possession of ammunition, felon in possession of firearm and ammunition, purchasing a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime, possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine and fentanyl. PN13 is based out of Pico Rivera, California, but has tentacles throughout North Hollywood and the San Fernando Valley, the FBI said.
Mhm.
The PN13 investigation led to the seizure of 22 weapons. A wide variety of other violent crime investigations between several law enforcement agencies over the course of the past 6 months led to the seizure of over 180 guns, the FBI says. Of these nearly 200 weapons, 37 were ghost guns, guns manufactured in private and without commercial serial numbers. Ghost guns are illegal to own, buy, and sell in the city of Los Angeles, the state of California. They were seized in investigations starting after other violent crime investigations involving narcotics violation, organized crime groups, and fugitive apprehensions, according to the FBI. Man, oh man.
That's the article.
Yeah. So what is it?
Brownwood,
and
yeah,
Pico
Brown Street, whatever.
both got hit by the feds on basically the same kind of charges, man.
Like I'm listening to everything, man. I'm playing the tape out of all the criminal activities I was involved in, man. And there's one thing that, I worked along with the different regiments out there in the streets, man, was involved in a whole lot of different illicit activities and ventures, you know what I mean? And the one thing that we never would really engage in was the gun smuggling operations for a couple reasons. Number one, it was too hot in the community. It's going to bring the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, everybody's going to be on your ass if you're smuggling guns. And there's always someone that's going to talk.
Yeah.
Drugs are just as bad, man, but there's a little bit less, how you say it? Law enforcement are going to put way more attention into you if you're known to be smuggling guns as opposed to moving product.
Yeah.
Those are just facts. Number two, a lot of the reasons why we never dealt with the gun smuggling aspect of it, right, is first of all, you want your own arsenal stockpile. It's okay to purchase guns. That's one thing. But I never sold
guns either.
I'm not going to put guns into anybody else's hands out there on the streets, into other gang members, into other oppositions, into other groups or other races, because you never know if they're going to use it against you.
Yeah.
So when I'm hearing these gangs down south being involved in gun smuggling, who are they selling the guns to? Is it within their own hood? You know what I mean? Because if I'm out there and I'm thinking, my old school mentality is, man, I'm not going to give a firearm to potential opposition that may use it against me.
Exactly.
I used to have people all the time ask me, man, can you get cuetes? Can you get cuetes? No, I was the one that was always looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a whole little bit. You don't really hear too much about the Northern California gangs being involved in gun smuggling operations for that purpose. Yeah. There's too much attention. There's too much heat. Maybe being down south, the whole gang atmosphere, the gang climate is on a whole nother degree level, right? So maybe you can get away with it out there. But up in Northern California, from my personal experience, yeah, we look for arsenals, SKSs, AR-15s, all that. You know what I mean? We're going to get those. And a lot of times it's going to be some lower level person who's working for us who runs into some dope addict that comes across these arsenals. Yeah. That's how we get them half the time, man. Or every once in a while you hear about someone that has to connect to the military and they're hitting this, all the stories, bro. Yeah. But as far as to be involved in the gun smuggling aspect of it, I don't see no benefits really from it. First and foremost, you never know where those guns are going. You never know where they're going to be used. I know for a while, if you take them over to Mexico, you can get more for a firearm in Mexico than you can in the United States, from my understanding, because it's a little bit more difficult to get them out that way. You know what I mean? I think the price is a lot more expensive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I do know people that were doing that. And there's also people that for a minute, they were going out of state, because you can go out of state and purchase these guns like Texas, Arizona, and places like that. If you have a legit ID, and you have an associate, you can go buy a bunch of firearms, come back and report them all stolen. So there's a whole lot of different ways, man, with the gun smuggling operations, man. And this is nothing that law enforcement doesn't know. It's just it's a dangerous lifestyle, man, and you're going to get attention from law enforcement. Period.
It's way easier nowadays too, man, because man, they started doing those 80% lowers and all that kind of stuff, man. I know so many people, bro. I know a couple dudes, bro, that literally have enough of those lowers and uppers and barrels and shroud, man, everything, bro. They have everything, bro, to make hundreds of ARs, bro, if they want
Oh
to.
yeah, bro.
Because people, okay, they know they found a loophole with the whole ghost gun thing and being able to buy things just as parts, so it doesn't necessarily have to be serial numbered because it's not a complete unit. So people found ways, these loopholes and shit, people started manufacturing them hugely, and people that have a little foresight were smart, invested in buying hundreds and hundreds of each kind because they know eventually the government will close that loophole, and the charges for having a ghost gun are going to rise significantly. It's just a matter of time, bro. You know what I mean? They're already trying to hit you with the unregistered, this and that, and the unidentifiable. They're going to have, pretty soon, they're going to implement something that if you get caught with a gun with no numbers, you're fucked, bro. I mean, basically, that's what it's going to come
Oh
down
yeah,
to.
man. They're
So
already.
these guys had this foresight to buy all these parts at these real cheap numbers, getting these lowers for fucking $150, getting these uppers, you know what I mean? Getting the rails, getting everything that you need to assemble an AR type rifle or Glocks. People are doing with Glocks and stuff too. But you got hundreds of these, bro. If you spent, the average of $400 to $600 in parts, a couple $100 in labor, these units are only costing you 600. They're untraceable. You've already stockpiled enough to make a few hundred of them, bro. And when these crimes, when these ghost guns go to crimes that are going to be way more serious and whatever, and the government cracks down on guns, now you're sitting on a $5,000 weapon, bro, because the price
Oh
on the
yeah,
street's going to skyrocket.
yeah.
So
It's a
they
dangerous,
can
it's a
shut
dangerous
down all
game,
that
though,
shit right
bro.
now. The thing with the United States, bro, guns are never going nowhere. There's too many. There's too many people right now that have a fucking warehouse stocked with supplies to make 10,000 ARs. And it's not just one person or two persons. It's not just the Asians. It's not just the Paisas. It's not just any one group. People see it. People love their guns in the United States, bro. And they're gonna find ways to buy. There's never gonna guns are gonna be here, bro. It's just a fact,
Yeah, man.
you know.
Yeah,
And but the fact is, when you play with them things, and you're not totally legit and by the book, and you're not your record's clear. If you're messing with them, bro, the consequences are gonna be devastating, bro. Because they haven't even
yeah.
mentioned gang enhancements for these dudes yet. There's
Nah,
no,
but
they didn't even say that.
you know
So
what I
that's
mean.
coming. Come on.
You know how those investigations go.
If
They
none of
want
them
to.
dudes talk, the next thing is, oh, we're also going to file a gang enhancement to try to make one of them talk. You know, the next thing is, all right, we're going to go after the Mexican mafia too and say, you told us you did it for them. They're going to try to get them people to talk, bro. They're going to do anything they can, bro, to try to get that pipeline where them guns are coming from, especially the ghost guns.
Because it's big public relations, man. It's all political move, man. Like if you think that like these law enforcement people are not campaigning for bigger promotions, for bigger positions, for bigger jobs, man.
Funding.
And you know what I'm saying? So like if you're a lead detective, if you're a lead investigator, if you're a head prosecutor on a case like this, man, this could be what you would call like a career move, like a career case, something that warrants the attention. So anytime you have things, especially when there's violence, like Los Angeles, I think last year I was reading statistics had I think over 400 murders, I think last year alone, and I think that's the highest that they've had in 15 years. So when you start to see those type of violent activities occurring out there in the streets, the violence, the murders, the shootings, and then you have innocent victims, you know what I mean, as well.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean, you're going to have attention from law enforcement, and so it's a win-win politically for these cases to be publicized. Right. We just knocked down this gang and this people. This is what they were doing, man. But the whole long, this kind of stuff has been going on for years in these communities. It just goes to show whatever's going on out there in the streets is going to dictate the political moves by these agencies. That's what it all comes down to. I mean, it's a power play move.
Yeah, you got a regular prosecutor prosecuting the case. This gets so much headlines, NBC, Fox, ABC, because it's gang and crossing state lines and, whatever. Man, now when they've put in their application for assistant U.S. attorney or something, Oh, I brought down the Pico guys. I brought down the Brownwood guys. You know what I mean? It's going to be right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Definitely.
always necessarily. There's always everybody has an agenda too. Police got an
Do you think?
agenda.
Let
Lawyers,
me throw
gang
stuff.
members, everyone has an agenda, bro, and it's all about
Let me
self-serving. Straight
let
up.
me throw this out there to you. Do you think that being close to that border and stuff and having more access to certain states would probably warrant them to be more involved as far as in their activities? You know what I'm saying? As far as opposed to Northern California, like as far as gun,
Oh
gun
yeah, they
operations.
got their hands. There's so many
You get what I'm
mixes
saying? Like
going
in
down
Northern
there. Yeah,
California, it's almost like taboo. You hear about BISAs and I mean the ones that are doing it up north, and
yeah,
a lot of times you hear about it. It's coming from guys from down to LA that are actually moving the guns up north a lot of times, man.
yeah. That border is the pipeline, bro. It's the pipeline for every drug basically except weed. Now, I mean, they still send Bammer over, but nobody wants that stuff except Virginia and
Yeah,
shit like that. The place they can't get real weed. Everything comes through there. Fentanyl comes from China, but it doesn't come from China. It goes through Mexico, goes through Central America. Cocaine, heroin,
yeah.
meth. The white boys used to make all the meth in the United States. Man, they don't make that shit no more. It's too hard to get
No,
stuff.
hell no,
They
everything,
got too
man.
much of tracking on the chemicals. So and guess who controls that border? You know, the big
You
homies
already
from down
know
south and the Southsiders.
the dope comes over this way, the money and guns go back across. That's how it's been for years. It's always been like that.
So you got a
You know what I
firm
mean?
hold on that border, and that's why them guys are as successful as they are. They have firm control over the border. You know, the cartel is ruthless in Mexico, but they don't want no problems with the Southerners in the United States.
No.
They just operate differently. This isn't Mexico. They can't have the same level of aggression that they do in Juarez and
Law
Tijuana.
and all that.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
they can't do that here. They'll go to jail. They'll get killed in a shootout. Down there, they just go take over whole towns and just shoot everybody from the other cartel, and then they
Yeah,
just leave,
true.
bro. Like nobody chases them. You do that over here. Everybody's chasing you. There's helicopters, and they're never gonna stop. Down there, they'll just be like, "Yeah, well, shit."
Yeah, most definitely.
I ain't involved in that. Plus, here's 10 G's. You didn't see nothing. Yeah, see,
It's
senor.
just
I didn't see
it's
shit.
always it's always like I said, it's the one thing that I feel that's opposite compared to what goes on up north and down south is gun smuggling operations, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Because
I
that's
don't.
something.
There might be homeboys that sell a couple pieces here and there, but on a large scale, it's always gone
No.
against our thing because we're stockpilers of shit. You know,
Yeah.
all the homies I know. Hey, I know dudes back in the days have 8, 9, 10 handguns. Hey, bro, I need a gat. Oh, I don't have any. You know what I'm saying? We know you got all the guns. You know, that's just how
Yeah,
homeboys
hey,
are,
bro.
though, bro.
Hey, bro. Like people hate that, bro. When you get one of those things and you have to use it, oh man, they're mad, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They're
yeah,
mad.
yeah. No, they don't like it. Even if it's only a little $200 38, bro. It's just
Yeah.
our thing has always been to stockpile resources. And
Yeah, most definitely.
none of us as homies and shit can go and buy it. We don't trust nobody, so we ain't sending the homeboy to go buy it because then he's got to report it stolen, and we think if he gets caught, reporting it stolen and it's not, he's gonna tell. So man, we just never messed around like that, bro. We keep that shit for
Yeah,
ourselves,
most
man.
definitely.
We don't even like giving it to our own homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm the worst one when it comes to bangers, bro. Shit, I'll have a fucking warehouse full, and I'll be like, oh man, I'll let you know if I can get one. That's just how we get down up here. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk.
Yeah. Anyways, YouTube, man, this is an interesting case, man. Just something to discuss, man, about the gun smuggling operations down south, man. It will bring a heat, it will bring attention, man, and it's just something that's been going on for years down that way, man. And they don't play with it, man. The federal government does not play when it comes to guns, man. Especially with all the stuff that goes on in the news nowadays, with the senseless murders, the active shooters, to all those people on one side complaining about gun control, man. So whenever they have these issues, man, they try to make prime examples of certain cases, man. Look, these are coming from the gang members, and this is what's going on, man. But a lot of times we should warrant the right to protect our Second Amendment rights, 100%. If you're out there, man, you have your rights restored or they've never been taken, man. You want your rights as a citizen in this country, period, man.
Crazy times.
Especially if you live in these inner city communities, man. You want to have the right to be able to protect yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? I've said this before, man. I think if more people were proactive under the Second Amendment, right, in these communities and so forth, man, and you would have a lot less corrupt individuals, man, that would think twice before they go into your communities trying to abuse people. And I'm talking not just talking about regular vigilantes. I'm talking about law enforcement officers as well, who go in there and attack certain minorities, man. If you have communities that have believe in Second Amendment rights and about protecting their neighborhoods, you could see a whole lot different advancements, man. But it's a game, man. This whole thing is a political fucking, clusterfuck, basically, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, let's get these guns off the street. Let's get this, examples here and there, man. But I don't know. I'm rambling on, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, man. Personally, with the ghost guns and stuff, I could go get. If I got me $1,000 in my pocket, I know about 4 or 5 places I could go grab something right now. No numbers, never been fired, brand new, beautiful, and the government knows that as well. That most people can get these things put together. You know what I mean? So they don't like it because they don't know where things are. That's why the whole register your weapon shit came in the first place. They want to know, because if they ever have to go to your house, they want to be able to type up, oh, this fool's got an AK, this fool's got this fool's got that. Man, when it's really none of your business, bro. You know what I mean? Like, like, come on, man. But like in Texas, man, there's not a lot of crime against innocent people. Most of the crime in Texas is people involved in the game, because everybody out here is strapped, bro. There's not a lot of store robberies. There's not a lot of, carjackings. There's sometimes, but hey, 7, 8 times out of 10, there's gunfire exchange, because almost everybody in Houston is packing, bro.
Yeah.
And that's just straight up, and that's everybody should have a right, man. I mean, like we've discussed this on this channel before. If you used a weapon violently and you were found guilty, okay, I understand why you might lose your rights. But for other people who got regular ass crimes, they've never been found guilty of murders or using a firearm recklessly or any of that kind of stuff. Everybody should have the same right to defend themselves as the next person, because if not, you're at a disadvantage already.
Yeah.
What's to say people like me and Flacco can't change our lives, have a beautiful home, accumulate nice things, and now somebody wants to kick in our door and take what we worked for?
Yep, exactly.
Why can't we defend our stuff like they could, just because we made a mistake in the 90s? And it's the 2020s.
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not robbing you. I'm not selling your kids drugs. Why can't I have my shit back? I don't know. That's how I look at it, bro. I got kids that I need to protect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, most
I'm
definitely.
less of a person because I got in trouble when I was 18, 19. Come on, man. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling again too. Boy Rojo, big Flacco in the building. One of us will be with you on the live a little later on. Enjoy your Thursday. And today's lesson is, if you're a gang member and you're doing stuff, you're going to get a gang enhancement. They're going to double up everything. You're going to have to do 85% of it. Your 4-year term just turned into fucking 17 at 85%. Think about that, guys. That's all.